Keep Taiwan Free team has met her several times where we marched along her in New York for Hong Kong to support Hong Kongers and to demand for human rights and democracy. Everyone, please welcome Yvonne to share a few words.
Hi everyone. I first want to thank Keep Taiwan Free for inviting me as one of their speakers, and I feel really honored to be here. Let me just introduce myself a little bit. My name is Yvonne. I was born in US, and I was raised in Hong Kong, and also have a Taiwanese mom. Because of my little slightly complicated background, I already know the differences between Taiwan and China since I was a kid. And of course, Taiwan and Hong Kong has this very special linkage deep inside my heart. In the past 3 months, Hong Kong has experienced a lot of tragic, and I decided to spend a week in Hong Kong to witness everything with my own eyes. In the past week, I've seen a lot of tiny little things media didn't get a chance to cover. I've seen a teenager in his age of 15 was fully geared up while he was chatting with his friend. When I pay a little attention to his gears and outfit, every scratch on his helmet and armor tells a story about what he had experienced, including a halfly ripped backpack that he was still using. I've seen a stranger cover me with an umbrella when I was changing to a different t-shirt on the street. I've seen random people tell me not to exit from this way, but from the other side because there are police out there. I've seen protesters apologizing to bus drivers when a lot of us are crossing by. I've seen a driver who's willing to give up his car just to delay the police for a minute or two. I've seen people helping strangers unconditionally just so they're safe. I've also seen an old lady stood in front of me to stop the police officers who were so close to beat me up with his baton when I was doing nothing. I've seen a frontliner comforting me when he told me 3 of his friends was in an ICU and one of them is in coma. With an attitude like, I can treat your dinner if you're tight, no problem, he said. You don't have to be upset. It's actually better for us to stay in ICU instead of those teenagers. They have a long way to go. All of these examples made me really, really proud to be a Hong Konger. And I hope all the mankind are made by kind men and women, so our 5 demands can be met and no one will be hurt again. Nowadays, Hong Kong and Taiwan are facing the same enemy, PRC. What PRC is trying to do right now is not really using nationalistic propaganda to attack Taiwan and Hong Kong, because we all know that's not gonna work. But what they're doing is the market. And they're using their economy expansion and soft power to control us, and it's working. If you remember, a few months ago, there were a couple bubble tea companies that originated based in Taiwan, made a statement to condemn Hong Kong protesters. But from what stand they're making that statement? Are they really speaking from a Taiwanese perspective? Not really, right? They made that statement because they need the Chinese market and investors. A lot of people think economy and politics are not the same, and normal people shouldn't be touching or getting close to politics. But from what we saw and experienced in Hong Kong, it's impossible for both of them to be separated. 1 to 2 decades ago, the exact same situation was happening in Hong Kong. At first, we were really delighted to see a huge amount of money, investors are coming in from China. We did see an economic bloom at the very beginning. But what happened afterwards was the Chinese government is penetrating Hong Kong's major economy in every single aspect. Our mass media is controlled by Chinese investors, so when they report the news about the protests, it's totally biased. And you can never deliver the truth by watching TVB. The exact same thing is happening in Taiwan if you know how biased Zhongtian is. Oh, yeah. Can you imagine in what scale and speed Chinese government will influence Taiwan if Nationalism Party is in power nowadays? A lot of people are feeling offensive when we're trying to make in such parallel comparison about Hong Kong and Taiwan. And they think that's an exaggeration that Taiwan will become Hong Kong. But from what we saw, economic and politics can never be separated. If you open your mouths and welcome Chinese investors, what will suppress your speech and stand? And you vote for a nationalism or pro-China candidate, then I'm sorry to say it's not going to be exaggeration. The most expensive things is not money. It is very likely Taiwan will become Hong Kong in the next 4 to 10 years. Some people said one vote doesn't matter, but no, every single vote matters. If Hong Kong is going to have universal suffrage, I'll definitely visit and travel back to Hong Kong no matter how much the ticket is. So please, treasure what you have, treasure your vote. I really hope Taiwan can learn from our history and experience to decide what you all should do in the next year. 香港加油！台湾加油！ Thank you.